Look, niggas,
we here, okay? What do you want from us?
How much more do you want from me? And we're back.
Hello, girls. We're back.
And we're back. We're back.
And we're back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Cha-cha-cha. Hey, y'all. It's your girl, Taylor.
And Toya.
This is the Heaux Bag. Be sure to subscribe to our podcast on your favorite streaming platform and follow us on Twitter and Instagram at _Heaux Bag. That's _HEAUXBAG. Keep up with our shenanigans. Bye.
Bye. You know, because I used to sing.
Okay.
What's up, niggas?
Okay.
All right.
Nubian kings and queens and princesses and princes and you niggas. This one's for you,
Nubians.
my number one.
What up, Nubian?
What's up, Nubian queen? Grand Rising.
What's up, niggas? We back.
And we're back. With the bullshit.
With the bullshit. Man, first of all, before we get started, shout out to them Astros. We are 2-2 right now. So I don't know, by the time y'all see this, hopefully we'll be 3-2. But we'll see. You know, I'm just, Astros is the shit. We were in Houston today. So yeah. We're also talking about what are we talking about today?
Red flags seems to be a pretty big topic trending right now. And we may be late as far as talking about it, but we saved the best for last. So that's how.
And you know our twist on it's gonna be good because y'all be like, oh, look at all these red flags talking about red flags. I already told y'all I'm the red flag, so put that shit out there. Now we're gonna talk about it.
Because she's a Scorpio. Y'all know how y'all do.
Y'all listen. Let me address that real quick. First and fucking most. Y'all, and we're gonna get into this later on, but I literally mind my business and people want to hang out with me and piss me off. And then y'all get mad when I get mad at y'all. Because I be hungry and then nobody want to go and eat. So it's not my fault that y'all like these red flags. I'm just going to say that.
Touche. I mean, they say birds of a feather flock together, so hey.
Toya is my soulmate friend, so we going to get into these red flags.
The name of this episode is Addicted to Red Flags. I guess we'll start off with the Twitter news, which is me. So one of my friends, she's a mom, friend of mine, and she sent me this post that said, absent fathers have to be sociopaths because how do you wake up and live daily like nothing is happening, knowing you left a child in the dust, clearly unwell, no guilt, just a one-bedroom apartment and vibes. It's people who interact with their kids and have nothing in their life that indicates they have kids and don't disclose that info either unless truly forced. Like, you really got kids and you not like telling nobody you got a one-bedroom apartment and no toys, no nothing.
Time out. Did you see that meme? It was like how you lose custody of your kids and go on about your life like nothing.
Like nothing. Like you in the club on Sunday Fun Day and you just lost your kids on Friday.
Talking about, girl, I'm about to go get a BBL. I'm sorry.
No, for real. Like, hey,
Some
girl, what's been up with
shit.
you?
I just want to say that.
Just lost custody of my kids. What about you?
Yeah.
Like, how do
you trying to hit Miami?
Poor grandma is tired, okay?
Oh my God. Whew. I'm sorry, y'all. I had to get that demon out of my soul. That was funny.
I think a lot of people are throwing the terms narcissist, manipulative,
absolutely,
sociopath, psychopath around.
Let's get into
that difference?
Let's get into that definition. Because initially when we were, when the red flags thing started trending, I was like, oh, let's do an episode about sociopaths. And then Toya was like, no, she was like, let's also add a psychopath in there. And I had to ask myself, shame on me for being a psychology major. What the fuck is the difference? So the definition of a psychopath is a person suffering from chronic mental disorder with abnormal or violent social behavior. Like, so I just want to say that's basically toxic, and they kind of like fucking with people. Like, they like pissing people off. They like doing things that are, wrong and fucked up, and they just keep doing it. Like, it's like
that's their normal behavior,
habitual thing. And then a sociopath is someone who is a person with a personality disorder manifesting itself in extreme antisocial attitudes and behavior and a lack of conscience. That would be, I would describe, if y'all seen that show, that's that guy. He goes out and kills people like it's nothing, and then wakes up and texts his girlfriend back like, hey babe, you ready for brunch? Like, he's a fucking sociopath.
I've never seen that show, but I can equate it with people that have no empathy. They can't even empathize with you. Like if you just say, yeah, my grandma just died, and they're just like, damn.
Well, then I would, this is going to kind of take us off topic, but I would think that's a lot of healthcare workers. When I first started working in healthcare, I used to work in the nursing administration office. And so we had to sign off on all the dead bodies before they went to the morgue. So one time, it's my probably second week on the job, one dumbass brings the body and drops it off in front of the office. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? And then, you know, I was like freaking out. My boss was like, hey, people live, people die. We don't sympathize, we empathize. Or we don't empathize. She was like, something like that. And she was like, you're going to see it so much, like, just, like, get over it. I was like, that's fucking crazy, but you got to put yourself in those shoes in order to continue your profession, right? And, I mean, you're in hospice.
Right.
So.
I was going to say, though, I think that's still a difference because you were, like, kind of forced into a routine to where you had to adapt to that.
Mm-hmm.
These people, that's who the fuck they are. They're just, they wake up every morning and choose violence because they don't feel that it's violence. It's just a normal fucking life. Like, that's what they are... You know, I know a few sociopaths.
Fun fact, I have been, you know, in the past have had psychopathic behavior. I've had to grow from that.
Put the camera on me. All right, you can resume.
Nah, for real. Like I had to, I was like, at some point I had to go seek therapy because I was like, what am I doing? Like, I honestly didn't think I was doing anything wrong. I just was like, I'm just living my life. And I didn't realize how destructive it was to other people. I thought I was living my life and then, you know, going back, like I was interacting with people and then I was done with them. Like, but you can't play with people like that. Like, that's not cool. It's not something that, you know, should be condoned. And I think a lot of us develop those characteristics from our, you know, environments growing up and we don't see nothing wrong because we've seen that our entire lives. But then I want to say to go forward about the dating, niggas love that shit. I done cussed half y'all out, and y'all still hitting me up. So you done when I'm gonna see you again? You know you're supposed to be my wife. What?
We just had an episode about that. People that are, I forgot what the name of it was, but it was like living in chaos. You know what I'm saying? Like some people thrive off of chaos. So that may be those type of men.
So I'm gonna come back to my next story, but I want to ask you. Do you like psychopaths? Have you dated a psychopath before? If so, did you see the red flags and what made you just pursue the relationship?
Whew. I can say that honestly, I've been a psychopath before. Might currently still be one, just a little bit. But when I say psychopath, I mean like sometimes I do create my own chaos because I'm an overthinker. Mm-hmm. So I'll overthink and overanalyze situations that may or may not be there. Mm-hmm. I may be living in my own fantasy world and it's until I do get...
She's a Gemini.
and I'm a Gemini. So I know I have two personalities. Like sometimes I want to be fucked with, sometimes I don't. So it just depends on which bear you poke that day. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna share something real quick because it's a group of us that have this... we kind of share memes on Instagram and we're friends. And one of the posts said, are you obsessed with quote unquote hood niggas because you want a man who will be impressed with the bare minimum because in reality, you have no depth? Laugh out loud. Okay.
Damn.
So one of my friends was like, laugh my ass off. No, because I like hood niggas because they're dangerous and it's sexy, Mr. Man. So one of my friends was like, let's dissect that. Why do you like danger? And I was like, well, damn. And she has a point. I think we sometimes correlate hood niggas to strong niggas or let me stop saying niggas.
Nubians.
To strong men and tough men, and that's so manly because they're out there in the street and they're getting it or whatever and so on and so forth. When in all reality, if you really dissect it, it's like, damn, that's equating it to danger. Why the fuck do I like these red flags?
It's fun.
It is fun sometimes. Sometimes I do sit back and be like, damn, I miss my hood niggas.
You know what? I will say that, like, sometimes I know at the beginning of this show, I said I was gonna have a rotation. I live with a whole nigga. But I'm loving it. It's fun. But then sometimes I'm like, dang, it'd be fun to be out in the streets with the toxic shit. And then I'm like, but why? Like, I'm mad all the time. Like, it's not, you know, conducive to my growth and like my plans for the, like, I'm 30 now. Like, I gotta think about my future and like, do I want to keep, I'm also in competition with younger bitches now. Like, I've reached that stage in my life. So it's like, do I want to keep doing the same thing over and over again? Or do I want something new? Like, I can't keep bitch like niggas ain't shit. And then I'm like still chasing them same niggas. Why? Because it's fun. Okay, it is fun. I ain't gonna lie. It's very fun. But at some point you gotta be tired of certain things. And I think, you know, I think it's okay to like, you know, play with fire and shit. shit. As long as you know when to stop. Like you got to at some point say, okay, this is my halting point. I can't do this type of shit anymore.
You know, when I said I think I was a bit of a psychopath, now it kind of dawned on me why. Because I think I was running around creating chaos for other people too, kind of. Because I was like, like treating people like a toy. Like, okay, I'm done with you, next.
And have you ever felt bad about that? Like, there's this one guy I think of every single time. He was the perfect man. And I was just like, nigga, you too fucking nice. I don't like you. And the only reason I dated him was because my sorority sister thought he was cute. And I was like, I'm going to take that nigga right there. And that was it. I just took him and then I dropped him off. And I felt so bad for him. Like, I picked him up like 3 times and he just kept coming back. And I was like, Taylor, you got to stop this shit. Like, that's even a fucked up level on your, like, because he didn't do nothing fucked up back to me for me to justify my behavior. And so, like, but it was fun. But I felt bad. That's the only person I ever felt bad about.
I think I felt bad because I was kind of shallow. Mm-hmm. So, like, I would notice things I didn't like about people. Like, they could be just perfect. And then I'll notice something. Like, I'll start picking with you then. Like, what? It's got to be something I don't like about you.
I don't like your baby toe.
Yeah, no, for real. I was on a date with a guy that had a wandering eye. And I was like, this is it for me.
Well,
like,
I mean, I think that's okay because it's like, you want to be able to look at somebody without like...
Dude, no, I had one, his nose was too big. Another one, he snored. Like, it was just certain things. I made sure to find something with every dude. And it was just like, oh my God, it's me. It's not y'all, it's me.
But I think that's what happens when you also have options too, right? Like, if you got a lot of options at your, your disposal, then you can go, I want to try this one, I want to try this one, I want to try this one. And it's okay as long as you understand that you're also, you're putting yourself out there to welcome toxicity into your life. And it's okay. We are Team Toxic. So there's nothing wrong with it as long as you're okay with it. And I think as long as you're not hurting other people to the point where like you're ruining marriages and, you're late for work because you're fucking some random nigga. Like, I think as long as it's within, a boundary of some sort.
Damn, there's a toxic boundary.
I mean, because it's like, we know we're not supposed to eat cookies all the time, right?
Yeah.
So somebody like me, I got to say, okay, Taylor, don't eat the whole sleeve of Oreos.
Serving sizes too.
Right.
We're going to multiply that by 4.
And I got to say, okay, bitch, stop it. Like, you got to tell yourself sometimes, like, it's not good for you, but it tastes good. So, or like smoking weed. You can't smoke too much weed or you're going to be too hot. You can't have them cookies all the time, Satya. But yeah.
I think a little bit of a psychopath is like good though. Because like, don't you want to have that friend? Well, I don't know if you would call it, I don't know what the term is that you would call it. But let's say those friends that like, and I like to think of myself as one of those friends that will come telling a story and it's a little exaggerated or,
Absolutely.
But I think there's like literally a term for it. And I don't want to say it's psychopath or sociopath, but it's some type of path. I'm going to look that up.
Crazy bitch path.
Yeah, that may be me. And I'm okay with that. But like, I don't think I do it to the extent where they be like, oh, here come this lying ass bitch toy again. But there are those people where you be like, what is it called where they just lie all the time?
Habitual liar. Yeah. Probably pathological liars. Liars. Lying ass niggas. Always lying. You be like,
to
girl.
me, that's still got to be a psychopath because why the fuck are you running around lying? And who the fuck, like, who are you afraid of that to where you have to lie? Who finna pull their belt and whip your ass?
I don't even think they lying to save themselves. I think they're lying because they think it's impressive. And I would think that's the whole, social media thing. Like people who are like super influencers and super, I post I got the perfect life and da-da-da. It's like, are you lying? At this point, you're lying to yourself because we don't give a honestly, nobody gives a fuck what y'all are doing. Like you're doing the most and it's just... It's like if you got the time to post on social media all the time, are you really enjoying your life? And so I think that's a liar right there. But is it a form of psychopathism? We don't need a real psychologist to come in. But yeah, so let's get back because we know that we've admitted to our toxicity. So like, have you met someone and you're like, yeah, this happens, but
I was dealing with somebody that I really had to explain to them why they were toxic. And honestly, I think they heard it, but they didn't really, because like I said, people keep out using these words like, narcissist, manipulative.
So it sounded so...
Yes.
Okay.
It was just like, oh, you're just throwing that word around. But I was like, no, nigga, You really are toxic. Like, and this is why, and that is why. So honestly, I think if a lot more people would understand why people say that they're a red flag or why they're attracted to red flags, maybe they wouldn't pursue those type of people anymore, I'm guessing, or wouldn't be that person anymore, because now I can say this person is actively trying not to be that person, and that's pretty dope.
Yeah, I can agree with that. So I think my turning point for being toxic was my therapist. She was like, you engage in a lot of toxic behavior. And I was like, no, I don't. And she was like, you hear what you just told me? And I was like, I mean, but it's fun. She was like, okay, but you talking to me about it because you're bothered by it. And I was like, damn. So I had to like look within and say, what do I need to change about my life? Who do I need to limit access to me so that I can be a better person? Like, y'all don't understand. I do want to come outside sometimes, but I know it's going to put me in a situation to where I'm going to revert back to certain types of behaviors and engage in certain types of people. Because guess what? The same niggas that was being toxic with me are ready. They still fucking ready. Like, and it's just sad. But like, remember I was like, I had to call somebody a bitch ass pussy ass nigga to get the I love you out of him. And it's like, you like toxic behavior. So anywho, I was like Googling, like, why do people like toxicity? I was just being funny. And then Forbes actually issued a little piece. It was called Why We Love Psychopaths. And then it just had, I'm going to read like some snippets of what I was saying. I'm going to slow this down a little bit. I didn't realize I talked as fast as we were talking. We were excited about this topic because it's just, there's so much to cover.
Team toxic.
Let me get back to what I was saying. So Forbes issued a piece in 2011. It's called Why We Love Psychopaths. And I'm just going to read a couple of clips about it from what I gathered. It was like, it reads, they create conflict, excitement, and suspense by merely moving through a scene. They're dramatic, unpredictable, impulsive, and they are impossible to ignore. And that's true, right? You got the class clown acting a fool, and it's like, oh, look what Taylor did today. And then your mom was like, stay away from Taylor because all she's doing is talking and she ain't never turned her homework in. But it's like, that's Taylor, you know? So it's, granted, everybody's parents loved me as a kid. My daddy didn't play that shit. But I was a class clown at the same time. Look, I code switched it even in school. It also reads, it was inspired by a book called Women Who Love Psychopaths. And I'm just going to read some clips from the book. So women like Michelle often fall for the excitement of the psychopath. Jake said in the only therapy session he attended, Michelle makes me want to clean up my act. She's a good girl. She loves me. She felt simultaneously excited, off balance, and important to him. Michelle felt like a warm emotional attachment to Jake, and she assumed she felt the same. Michelle didn't realize that the psychopath's hard drive locks the emotional attachment chip. So it's like we feel like we're saving niggas.
Child, I am Michelle.
Yes.
Jesus, if I'm Michelle, just say that. Bitch, let me find out she put that fucking part of the book in there for me. She talking about, let me slow this down so Toya can hear what the fuck.
And I'll say this without saying too much.
Goddamn.
I'll say this without saying too much. Toya is a wonderful person. And Toya is this woman who is super intelligent, very giving, very like
fucking guidance,
elevated. No,
niggas.
Really, like she's a bomb ass woman, and I feel like she makes small justifications for certain people to be in her life because she sees that they're trying. Whereas there are some people who don't need to try and they can actually, I don't know, add on to your life. And so I think some people like, I think if you feel good to be needed, we all need you, girl. We all, some more than others, but we all need you in some way. And so, yeah, I don't know. I feel like at some point, and now me, y'all might want to date me, but I ain't dating no psychopath. Y'all can get the fuck on because I don't have time for that.
There's no room for two psychopaths.
Nah, for real. How I'm gonna deal with all this shit and your shit? Like, it just don't make sense to me.
And I'm already dealing with two of me in here. So imagine in my downtime, I'm just like, Lord Jesus.
Oh, but it was crazy. I thought it was crazy how Forbes is a really well-respected magazine. And it's like, they're talking about how people love psychopaths. And then it just was random. It was like, I saw this fun fact today on random facts, but it said psychopaths comprise about 1% of the general population, but make up an estimated 21% of the CEOs in the U.S.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, it does. It really does. Because they like to emotionally abuse us all.
Greed falls under being a psychopath in a sense. Being emotionless. I mean, all of that.
And I think at some point okay, let's break this down. I think at some point in order to be quote unquote successful, you have to kind of fuck other people. Like not like physically, but like say fuck them people and like fuck over people. And it's like I might look at it as, oh, I thought we worked together and we were helping each other out. And they were like, hey, you were along my path for my career growth. And I'm sorry, but I can't hold your hand if you're not, right here. And then as soon as, you fall off, they drop you. And I think we can also see that in a lot of social media influencers, right? Whoever gets the blue mark first, they start fucking with the other person.
Have you watched Squid Games?
Absolutely.
Girl, that's just like fucking Squid Games.
Yeah. People, it's human behavior, unfortunately.
Man, that shit's fucked up.
So some people have more psychotic behaviors than others, or
and some
they
have the moral compass, I'll say. Because I think if you have a really bright, I don't even know the word for a really large moral compass, then you're not going to make the same psychotic choices as other people that don't. If I don't have a moral compass, it's fuck you. I'm going to do whatever I got to do to get to the top. I'm going to give you a handful of rocks, make you think they're marbles, so I can win the fucking game. And I made you trust me just so I can fuck you in the end. And then you get fucking shot and you die. If you haven't seen Squid Games, there it is.
Don't that sound like Forex?
Damn. Where's those people with the blue signs?
You should be here. Where are you? Damn, them goddamn pyramid schemes. I mean, I guess, the American corporation system is like a pyramid scheme in a sense. Somebody's got to have all the workers at the bottom feeding all their time in. That's what you're exchanging your time for. And then you got somebody at the top who's like, just
even
chilling.
When we get into the drug game, what show was I asking you? Were you watching? BMF. And when he was sitting in the car and the chauffeur kind of turned to him, he was like, damn, it sounds like you trying to keep him. You're not trying to let him progress. Yeah. You're like, hell yeah, I got to keep my foot on his neck because he can't surpass me. And it's like, damn, even in a drug game.
Oh, absolutely.
Definitely psychopaths.
Absolutely. Somebody got to stay at the top. I mean, 50 Cent, he's kind of giving us this whole comic book of how the fucking drug game works.
Yeah.
You remember in Power, they sent what's the name to jail, Kanan to jail so he can get to the top. Then Kanan came out and they were like, damn, I'm gonna have to kill this nigga now.
Sadly,
and they eventually did.
I don't watch Power. But if it's anything like that, I'm gonna have to watch it.
It is. 50 made all these shows.
I know. But
yeah. Oh man, you gotta watch it. Well, I mean, if you're ever bored, watch it. But yeah, it really
I ain't got no job, so
I'm
gonna watch it.
What's crazy, this is just kind of like a little bit off topic. So many people, so the U.S. just, the CNN just put out that report that like 43% of Americans quit their job in August or some shit like that. And it was like, dang, like when I posted it, people were like, me too, I just quit. No backup plan. Like I was over it. My mental health, like fuck this shit. And I was like, I love that. Like
they called it the Great Resignation.
Yeah.
This is the most people that's ever decided to resign in forever, and takes us back to the fucking psychopath. Who wants to keep working for a goddamn psychopath?
And then they raised Social Security for the old people. They just said we was running out of money yesterday. So that means we're working harder for you to take my money after we're already inflated. Fuck out of here. But we're not going to talk about politics. But still, it just didn't make no fucking sense. But yeah, y'all stop stressing yourselves out for the fucking psychopaths. When you see I think also, let's talk about red flags in the job, right? So,
definitely can, because why was I at a job for 6 years and I saw all the red flags
and we don't stayed. It's like we feel like we're not, I guess, going towards the older generation, you feel like you have to be loyal to this company when they don't give a fuck about you. We've already talked about that. But it's like I think as you're going, you specifically, and whoever else, because half of us ain't got jobs, right? Whoever's out there interviewing, red flags, you got to ask those during the interview. Like they're interviewing you, but you're also interviewing them. Hey, what y'all's culture like? Like, how did you feel about George Floyd? How did you feel about, the LGBT community? Like, you got to ask those type of questions if they're important to you, just so you can get a feel for what the environment's going to be like. Are you going to have a good time there? So I just started with a new company, and the first thing I actually started on Columbus Day, and like my HR guy was like, well, we don't fuck with Christopher Columbus. He was like, it's Indigenous Peoples Day. And I was like, I like this culture.
Absolutely.
Because I couldn't be in a place where it's like, yeah, it's Christopher Columbus Day. What are you guys doing? You remember that? And it's like, I gotta you know, tap dance for the man, and I just didn't feel like doing that. So I think you should look for those red flags, whatever you consider red flags, obviously, right? If you see a lot of old people in this place, okay, people don't retire here. People don't, you know, respect younger and do fresh ideas. You gotta just
there's no
look
room
at
for
it.
growth because their old ass ain't leaving no time soon.
Yeah, they just wait until they die, honestly. Which I ain't mad at them because like they don't have the same skill sets that we have. So I'm not mad at them for doing what they're doing, and I'm not mad at us for not staying in places where we're not appreciated, places where we don't feel represented or valued either, which is something you should do in every aspect of your life. Friendships, relationships, jobs, hobbies. Like if you just don't like doing something, you're doing something because somebody told you needed to do it a long time. Religion. Like, you know, find something that suits you. And so just, yeah.
I think another one of the red flags when it comes to talking about working, at least for me and probably a lot of people, would be fear.
Of what?
Fear of not having a backup plan, fear of not having, if you work for a company that maybe has some type of benefits. You know, a lot of people always talk about being an entrepreneur.
Mm-hmm.
And being an entrepreneur can be a red flag too. So I'm gonna put that out there. But because you can be an entrepreneur, quote unquote, and you're not handling your business as an entrepreneur.
Oh, facts.
You don't have life insurance. You don't have dental insurance. You don't have medical insurance. You're not even paying anything towards, you know, still at least trying to be some type of productive, I guess, citizen when it comes to your own health or your kids' health or whatever. So I think that's definitely a red flag. That was one for me. I was like, shit, if I quit, I ain't gonna have no insurance. I'm not gonna, you know, what's gonna be my fallback? What am I gonna fall back on? So on and so forth. But, yeah, fuck them red flags. So
yeah, and I think
when it comes to fear, at least.
Yeah, no, I agree, and I think to also touch on that, I think y'all gotta know you're gonna survive. You're not gonna be homeless. I mean, some people might be homeless. Some people might, but some people aren't. And I think you gotta be willing. Like, do you want this more than you want? Do you want to grow more than you want to be stagnant? Right. Definitely. And so that's when you take that leap. Now, if you're just scared and you want to play it safe, I'm not judging you either, but I think you shouldn't complain about being unhappy because guess what? It's your time now while you're young to get out and keep moving, especially while everybody else is doing it. This is the time to do it because America just doesn't want to see y'all homeless. Like, they don't like that shit. They're going to put out another stimulus check. They're going to put you on food. They're going to figure it out. Like, and your friends don't want to, like, you got a support system, even when you think you don't. So I just say, go out, step on faith. And like, if you know you can do better, you're like, that survival instinct's going to kick in and you're going to do better. So, and I know that you're probably like, shut the fuck up, Taylor. No, I'm serious. I wish I would have taken some more leaps. Earlier on in my life, but I mean, I'm here now, and I think we're taking leaps. Don't wait till you're 30 to do it.
Since we're talking about taking leaps, question.
Okay.
What is one red flag that you think you still have that you're trying to take a leap from? Like, you know what?
One I'm attracted to, or one that I produce, give off?
Yes, and you're trying to like literally shake that shit. Find yourself coming back.
I'm too friendly, and which you're gonna be like, what? Like people who come off too friendly for me, it's like they're quick to grasp onto people because they need something temporarily, and they're not genuine in the relationship that they're trying to build with you. And I try not to come off as friendly anymore because I don't want people sucking that energy out of me. But sometimes I'm still like, yeah, come on, sit down. I got shots for you. And it's because you see it, but I really don't mean it. And so then when like I get upset, it's like I snap, and I need to stop snapping at people. I'm more so snapping at myself for letting you into my life. But yeah, I'm too friendly to people. And it's just because I have this, I guess, you know, one of my psychiatrist friends said I was always a people pleaser as a child. And so like I do that, and I don't stand on that boundary of mine. So that's, to me, anybody who's too friendly, it's like it looks like they got a lot of new friend groups, or like they're just shallow, and I don't trust that. Like a lot of these influencer people, you see them like, oh, I'm using this person for contacts, stuff like that. I'm using this person because they got money. I'm using this person because, you know, they're pretty. And it's like where's your genuine shit? The genuineness in that. And so like red flag for me giving off is being too friendly, and some people are too friendly to me. That's Oh. But Toya thinks I'm mean because she knows me.
Well, I guess we can just wrap it up here. What's your whole tip?
Nah, nigga. What's your red flag? What is something people say? What is something people say that you feel like? What is some common feedback that you think is a misperception that could be a red flag about you?
If you don't know me, I'm an asshole. That's what I get. That's the feedback I get. I guess because I make that kind of face, like. But it's not really me. It's just how I look. Like, it's really how I look. But yeah, it's that I'm an asshole, and I can be an asshole. I can be a huge, petty asshole at that. But I think that's also something that I'm working on. And if you also really do know me, you know that I'm a friendly person. So that kind of sucks because now it's like I'm overly friendly. I guess kind of like what you said. And I give my last, and I'm a person that's always looking for the potential in somebody, and that ends up biting me in my ass a lot. So that's something that I guess I'm working on too. It's boundaries. If I sound nasally, it's, allergies kicking my ass. But
everybody got these allergies.
Yeah, I think that's something I'm working on. Probably 10 toes down, when it comes to my boundaries.
So
yeah.
Would that be your hoe tip as well, or do you got a hoe tip?
My whole tip is gonna be drawn more towards the red flags. And psychopaths. If you have to keep questioning, is this person fucking crazy? Chances are they probably are. And if you keep dealing with that person, chances are you're probably crazy too. So whole tip is to not just evaluate that person, but to also sometimes sit back, reflect, and evaluate yourself.
I like that. Okay, so my whole tip is, I wrote it down because I thought about this. When you see those red flags, ask yourself, where are you in life at right now? God damn, I can't read. Where are you at in life right now?
LP somewhere, punch in the air like, God damn it.
All right, let me start this over again. When you see those red flags, ask yourself, where are you at in life right now? Where do you see yourself in 5, even 30 years from now? Is this something you have time to play with, or are you going to leave yourself some room to embrace green flags when they appear? And on that note, bye.